opportunities that are there and the challenges, because the challenges are many. You know, every time I look at what small businesses go through, I'm like, you know, these people have got not even the backbone of steel. It's like they've got a backbone of titanium, because they have developed it. They've developed that steel. On their back, they're carrying a backbone of titanium, because most of them, that back would have been broken if it wasn't there. But they are pushing and they are moving forward and they are helping the country. So when we look at where we are now investing the money, yes, the formalization of other businesses have started, but I can tell you, as I said, as much as that process is going slow, it is not the only process. It said to us, we need now to run fast with other things. Even Cabinet is approving things faster now. So now, you know, we're not going to be waiting for 5 years for a business licensing policy to be to become an act, or things are moving fast, because in government processes, just to have you know, a policy or something go through, it takes a whole administration of 5 years. So now, because of the agency and the need, and because the country needs this, I'm talking about the business licensing policy because it just went to Cabinet last week, where the standardization of licensing in the country is necessary. Municipalities, when they do what they feel is right or following their own bylaws, and that one there is advantage, and that one there is disadvantage. Oh, now we're doing it for free. Oh, no, but here in the municipality, we've been charging 5,000 for that. And that, you know, things like this need to be standardized so that we are able to hold people accountable. You cannot hold people accountable if you haven't given them what is required of them. What must they do? And when they don't know what they must do, when there is no outcome at the end, then you will not be able to hold them accountable. And another thing that is critical is the measure. When we measure the success of whether we are succeeding in actually creating this small business ecosystem that we are talking about, we cannot measure that we have injected 9 billion into the small business ecosystem. That is not a measure. A measure is how many businesses, where are they? Do they still exist? How many people did they employ? Are they still operating after? You know, because when we measure only that we have spent so much and we don't know where and how, that is where we lost the impact. That's where we lost the impact, because, you know, you can fund a business today for whichever amount, but then we don't know the struggles after, because we move out. And whether that business drown, survive, actually grow, and now it was 1 person or 10, and now they're 50. We don't know, because that is not a measure for us. It's not a KPI, which we are changing, that we need to be able to tell South Africans when we report on a real key performance indicator. Where are those businesses? Look at the businesses that are 1 year old, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Are they still existing? If they are not surviving or they no longer exist, what are the challenges? Those that have been successful and are now even reaching, you know, markets beyond, what is their recipe? And support them more, because it doesn't end there. So the minute we change that KPI, which we have changed it now, I'm telling you, we will be able to tell in the next 2, 3 years whether we are actually making an impact. At the moment, it feels like we are not impactful. We're impactful on the money. The money really is like billions that's going. But even yourselves, you may ask, you know, but like, where did these billions go? Because maybe I've never gotten help from there, or I don't know anyone that has actually gotten help from there, or the help that they got was only for 10,000 rand. Oh, yeah, so we need to make sure that, you know, the impact is seen, and the impact is felt by South Africans. And the impact is felt in many ways, not only on people that we know, but on really changing the economic landscape of our country. When we streamline access to finance, because that is really a major, as the summit is all about access to finance, how to fund your business, how to upscale your business, how to, you know, where do you get that funding? Those processes need to be streamlined in a way that it makes it easier for the small business. I always say in meetings and wherever we gather, that, our thoughts and our thinking and our actions must focus on how do you make it easier for the small business. When we walk out, it must be what we've been busy with here. Is it making it easier for the small business, or is it making it harder for the small business? And the minute we ask that question in every meeting, when we ask that question in every gathering, when we ask that question in every policy that we are drafting, then we are able to start measuring the outcome. Are we making it easy for small business to survive, to exist, to be established in this country? Or what we've just done now, we've just added another layer of red tape. We've just added another layer and another layer that is making it even more harder, as small businesses are saying, it's hard as it is. We are dealing with, some will tell you, people don't want to, they can't reach my business because the road, look at the road that they must drive on. People don't want their tires be best before they reach my business. So everything affects small businesses. People will tell you the crime is so high here, I had to close my business. Everything affects small businesses. People in big businesses and big malls might be protected, as sometimes we say, things are skew, because a small business is somewhere where there's normally not a lot of security, a lot of protection, and they find themselves really in unpleasant situations where they have to stand up for themselves and actually protect their business. People will tell you there is no water, and when there's no water, people don't come to my business. It affects small businesses. And we are now conscious about that. Hence, now there's a NetJoins, there's a team where all ministers meet, local government, small business, so that, these things are dealt with to say, Minister of Police, what are we doing? What are we doing here? We expect small business to do 1, 2, 3. And there, it shows, they say, crime has shut them down. What are we going to do about it? Because not everything will come from one department. And when we collaborate, because before it was like the other department doesn't know what the other department is doing, and the other minister doesn't know what the other minister is doing, and if you look in our area of small enterprises, there is nothing that isn't affecting you.